I call again on Professor Alan Murray.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, in the name and by the authority of the Senatus Academicus, I have the honour to present for the degree of Master of Engineering in Civil Engineering with honours, Catherine Francis.
Congratulations, Kath.
Kath Inglesfield. Aidan Johnson. Connie Layden. David Long. Angus McBride. Louise McNabb. Andrew Shield. Jamie Syme. Gavin Snaith. Kelly Stallwood. Zafiros Triantafilidis. And with honours in Civil Engineering with Construction Management, Mocht Barakat. Andrew Beattie. Benjamin Duerden. Kelly Gordon. Sigwan Han. Chris Henderson. Emma Reid. And with honours in Electrical and Mechanical Engineering, Jenna Gaff. Matthew Green. Shona Grimmond. Sarah Hunt. Ewan McPherson. David Munn. Andrew Nichol. Rosalind Shannon. Michael Smales. Nick Swan. And with honours in Electronics and Computer Science, Harrison Gilmore. Franklin Wall. With honours in Electronics and Electrical Engineering, Paul Askew. Kevin Coombe. Callum Cuthell. Neil Dutton. Kieran Gilhooly. Scott Lintner. Umayyar Maksut. Andrew Mbaru. Craig McCloskey. Gregor Mackenzie. Christopher Miller. Cara Morrison. Chris Mortimer. Alistair Muir. Alison O'Neill. Lawrence Stark. Dee Tong. Obayed Urrehman.
Well done, Obayed. Congratulations.
Sam Wheeler.
Well done, Sam.
With honours in Electronics and Electrical Engineering Communications, Marcin Goraszniak.
Well done, Martin. Congratulations.
With honours in Electronics and Electrical Engineering with Management, Michael Berry.
Well done, Martin.
Christian Felgemacher.
Congratulations, Christian. Well done.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, in the same name and by the same authority, I have the honour to present for the degree of Master of Engineering in Mechanical Engineering, Abu Bakr Al-Khatib. Lewis Barker.
Congratulations, Lewis.
Alan Barth.
Well done, Alan. Congratulations.
Michael Cowan.
Congratulations, Michael.
Neil Gibson.
Well done, Neil.
Peter Henderson.
Congratulations, Peter.
Alex Hogg.
Congratulations, Alex. Happy birthday.
William Horton.
Well done, William.
William Howard.
Congratulations, William.
Thomas Illett.
Well done, Thomas.
Michal Jablonski.
Well done, Michal.
Scott Kemp.
Congratulations, Scott.
James Lamb.
Well done, James.
Andrew Mackay.
Congratulations, Andrew.
Alexander Mercer.
Well done, Alexander.
Gordon Milne.
Congratulations, Gordon.
Pavel Milto.
Well done, Joel.
Alistair Morrison.
Congratulations, Alistair.
Francois Otter.
Well done, Francois.
Tamas Parkani.
Congratulations, Thomas.
Angus Porteous.
Well done, Angus.
Alan Robertson.
Congratulations, Alan.
Stuart Scroggy.
Well done, Stuart.
Duncan Smith.
Congratulations, Duncan.
Thomas Tarpey.
Well done, Thomas.
Esme Wilkinson.
Congratulations, Esme.
And with honours in Mechanical Engineering with Management, Richard Eckersley.
Well done, Richard.
Veronica Filomonova.
Well done, Veronica.
Richard Gray.
Congratulations, Richard.
Joseph Mayo.
Well done, Joseph.
With honours in Mechanical Engineering with Renewable Energy, Thomas Clegg.
Congratulations, Thomas.
Carlos Garcia.
Congratulations, Carlos.
Andrew Latham.
Well done, Andrew.
Jill McPherson.
Congratulations, Bill.
Elliot MacDonald.
Well done, Elliot.
Adam Mercer.
Congratulations, Adam.
Charles Savoy.
Well done, Charles.
Kyle Smith.
Congratulations, Carl.
Hertha Taverner Wood.
Well done, Heston.
With honours in Structural and Fire Safety Engineering, Bruce Callan.
Congratulations, Bruce.
Philip Close.
Well done, Philip. Congratulations.
Stephen Dixon.
Congratulations, Stephen.
Hao Wu.
Well done, Howie. Congratulations.
With honours in structural engineering with architecture, Thomas Bignell.
Well done, Philip.
Alexander Duffy.
Congratulations, Alexander.
Ewan Gray.
Well done, Ewan.
Nadia Issa.
Congratulations, Nadia.
David Kershaw.
Well done, David.
Aaron McClatchy.
Congratulations, Aaron.
Patrick Rainey.
Well done, Patrick.
Jonathan Walker.
Congratulations, Jonathan.
Matthew Williams.
Well done, Matthew.
The graduation choir, conducted by Dr. John Kitchen, will now perform the Isle of Mull and Loch Erich side. Thank you very much, graduation choir. Thank you very much, Dr. Kitchen. I call again on Professor Alan Murray.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, in the name and by the authority of the Senatus Academicus, I have the honour to present for the degree of Bachelor of Engineering with Honours in Chemical Engineering, David Gillis. Si Yang Guan. Chun Huang. Song Wen Huang. Mark Jarvie. Chan Liu. Chongyi Liu. Alistair Livingston. Holly Miller. Lee Norman. Andre Schneider. Christopher Spalding. Jack Webb. And with honours in Chemical Engineering with Environmental Engineering, Yi Wang. With honours in Chemical Engineering with Management, Sam Draycott. Daniel Maxton. With honours in Civil and Environmental Engineering, Fraser Hutchison. Ming Chan. With honours in Civil Engineering, Patrick Bork. Ioannis Kolombos. With honours in Civil Engineering with Construction Management, Richard Walker. With honours in Electrical and Mechanical Engineering, Fraser Cowie. Chanmo Lee. Martin Reevy. Xiong Ting. Fan Wang. With honours in Electrical Engineering with Renewable Energy, Samuel Rogers. With honours in Electronics, Ying Chu. With honours in Electronics and Electrical Engineering, Samantha Cunningham. Fong Ying Dong. Chong Gao. Shenglong Guo. Qingwo Li. Rongche Sun. Chen Xu. With honours in Electronics and Electrical Engineering Communications, Marc Goujon. Hargobind Singh. Guanyi Wang. Xiao Chang. With honours in Mechanical Engineering, Russell Bannerman. Andrew Essen. Wenhui Gao. Alison Horder. Connor Irving.
Congratulations, Connor.
Stephen MacDonald.
Well done, Stephen.
Shane O'Brien.
Congratulations, Shane.
Adrian O'Neill.
Congratulations, Adrian.
Michael Stanier.
Well done, Michael.
Ronkai Yang.
Well done, Montpellier.
Ruibo Ye.
Well done, Guido.
With honours in mechanical engineering with management, Charlie Banks.
Congratulations, Charlie.
Michael Bilb.
Well done, Michael.
Thomas Bilb.
Congratulations, Thomas. Well done.
Mia Gigonde.
Well done, Mia. Congratulations.
Callum Cottis.
Congratulations, Callum. Well done.
Duncan McFarlane.
Well done, Duncan.
Chinwei Xian.
Well done, Congratulations.
Richard Crozier.
Congratulations, Richard.
Craig Fraser.
Congratulations, Craig.
Ian Glasgow.
Well done, Ian. Congratulations.
Tomasz Shevchek.
Well done, Thomas. Congratulations.
And with honours in structural engineering with architecture, Paul Stewart.
Well done, Paul. Congratulations.
Members of Court, members of the General Council, members of the Senate, graduate guests and colleagues. We currently have students from more than 140 different countries and staff from nearly 90 countries in our academic community. The diversity of countries represented at this ceremony and in the university at large is one of our great strengths. Can we give a particular welcome to those who have travelled from other countries to be with us today to support the graduates? We're a distinctive university. We award degrees in this wonderful hall funded entirely by profits from the sale of beer. We do not wear academic hats, yet degrees are awarded by a tap from this bonnet. And that, by the way, that tap is an act of manumission. It's what the Romans did when they freed the slaves, or if you were confirmed. So I freed you with that tap. But this bonnet is believed by some to be made from the velvet breeches of John Knox. It's also the source of my only serious defeat from the university administration. When Piers Sellers, our astronaut alumnus and honorary graduate, was preparing for his second space mission, he wrote to me and he said, could he take this bonnet with him into space? And I'm not a sophisticated philosopher, I'm even simpler than an engineer, I'm a computer scientist. So I didn't pause, I just said, yes, of course, take the bonnet. And the administration to a person said, no, and the sad thing is the administration was right and I was wrong. If you go on YouTube and you find Piers' he does hold, as it were, the Guinness Book of Records for the longest spacewalk, you will see him leave the spacecraft holding a spanner. So it's very intelligible for engineers, you'll see that. And what you'll then notice is he lets go of the spanner and it orbits still. And it could have been our bonnet. And we could have been waiting every year for the bonnet to come over. But universities are good at compromise, so when the bonnet went into space, I'd sent to Piers, when Piers went into space, I'd sent to him this university emblem. University of Edinburgh, nice bit of velvet. And when he came back, we combined the bonnet with the emblem. So unique is a terribly overused word, but I think in this university we are unique in conferring degrees by an act of manumission using a medieval space bonnet. I'm especially pleased that today we were able to honour Professor Harold Poor. Harold has shown such extraordinary leadership and vision in the development of wireless networking. Please join me in applauding Harold again. At this ceremony, we have awarded degrees to students from the School of Engineering. Your school is flourishing under the careful and considered leadership of Professor Alan Murray. I also have to say that of the 22 heads of school, Alan has, to my mind, he is the most conscientious in pronouncing the wide variety of names, and I find it particularly admirable, the way you do that. Speaking of successes in the school, Professor Michael Zazer, working with collaborators in the University of Karlsruhe, has developed a theory that explains how dislocations in material at the nanoscale move and flow. This provides the first fundamental underpinning for all modelling of plastic behaviour, such as bending, in materials, buildings and other structures. This long-awaited theory is crucial to the development of, for example, high-performance nanocrystalline materials and the next generation of superalloys. A team led by Professors Wallace, Ingram and Bryden have secured Research Council funding to create a new circular wave tank at King's Buildings. And this will be the most important facility in the United Kingdom and make Edinburgh the UK Centre for Marine Energy Research. And that'll be a source for other people to come and do test all sorts of wave energy devices. This development further underlines the university's preeminence in wave and tidal renewable energy research and our role as a catalyst for the research of others. The Research Councils UK and the Energy Institute have agreed to fund an industrial doctoral training centre to help to produce the next generation of renewable energy researchers and entrepreneurs. The centre, led by Professor David Ingram, will graduate 10 doctorates each year following a research programme with strong industrial input. It will make sure that its graduates understand both the fundamental theory of renewable energy systems, the real-world constraints they face, and their commercial potential. Max Stewart, who is a glass sculptor, has completed the first joint PhD between Edinburgh College of Art and Engineering at the University of Edinburgh, co-supervised by Dr. Andrea Hamilton. The project focused on discovering the forgotten colour palette and methods of Almeric Walter, who pioneered lead crystal casting methods, specifically Pat de Verre, in the early 1900s, and using this to create a body of studio work. Mered Kelly, a former student of the School of Engineering, has been named Young Engineer of the Year by the British Engineering Excellence Awards. The judges wanted to see a demonstration of the knowledge which the young engineers had to apply, the contribution made to a project, the degree of innovation, and nominees' personal qualities, including motivation, dedication, and ability to act as an ambassador. Professor Murray, in his official university comment on the award, said, "Our graduate success is always a source of great satisfaction. It is especially heartening to see our alumni succeeding at this very high level in areas of work that we would regard as our specialities, in Myriad's case, analog design." This year, our university football team, who've had an excellent season, won through to the final of the British Universities Cup, played at the ground of Sheffield United. In order to help the team, some very special arrangements were made. One of the team's star players of the last 5 years, Gordon Milne, who graduated today with an M.Eng, was due to play, but was also supposed to sit on one of his final exams on the afternoon of the match. And universities are good at compromise. We had a little debate, and it ended up that Gordon sat his exam early in the morning, and he was then chaperoned by a member of our academic staff by a train to Sheffield, where he joined his teammates in time for the kick-off. It was a very good game. The team played very well until the 70th minute, when the Roy of the Rovers finale was agonisingly denied by very physical opposition. And I mean, I know nothing about football, but it was terrible refereeing. Absolutely shocking. But a great credit to the university and to engineering of its participation. Over the years and centuries, our students have faced different challenges. In the 16th century, classes started at 6 in the morning, but after Easter they started at 5, and a single regent, a single professor, taught each year cohort for all 4 years. In the 17th century, exams were held in public with the Lord Provost and other city notables in attendance, and the students were chastised for not wearing bright red academic gowns. Students were supposed to wear gowns like the ones the choir are wearing, so that if they were seen going into a pub or doing anything inappropriate, they could easily be stopped. In the 18th century, we were almost turned into the world's largest medical school with an attached university, as medicine really, really boomed then, and the authorities were still issuing lists of draconian penalties for failure to wear red gowns. And you can always tell when a university administration isn't achieving its objectives, because you get memo after memo after memo telling you, stop it, or do it, or whatever. A 19th century encyclopedia described the rules and the various academic dress codes at Oxford and Cambridge at very great length, and the entry for Edinburgh is short. It says, at Edinburgh, the students reside in the city and do as they please. Apart from successfully resisting general gown wearing in the 19th century, Edinburgh students really showed leadership for the world's universities in the formation of student societies, newspapers, and union buildings and organised sport. As you leave Teviot Row, that is the very first purpose-built student union in the world, and we had the very first dedicated student newspaper. The 20th century saw the successful integration of women students and the creation of student residences, accompanied by growing academic demands on students in a widening range of disciplines. I want to express my admiration for you 21st century graduates. You've had a much tougher time than I did 40 years ago. More curriculum choices, a bewildering array of new technologies to master, many more open-ended learning tasks, greater financial obstacles, a more complex social environment, and undergraduates doing much more very advanced work that really blurs the distinction between learner and researcher. I'm deeply impressed by your academic achievements, and I know that students from the previous 4 centuries would be too. Students also make a massive contribution via volunteering, charity fundraising, and other philanthropic work. The recent reports from USA on supporting volunteering and on charity are quite inspiring. It's a great pleasure to recognise Philippa Faulkner, USA Vice President, on the platform with me, and to commend the great work of the Students' Association in supporting students and working in partnership with my academic colleagues to improve the quality of student learning in our great university. It's also a pleasure to acknowledge the work of the General Counsel, represented on the platform this afternoon by Mrs. Margaret Tate, General Counsel Assessor to the University Court, and by Mr. Gordon Cairns, and to commend the various initiatives being taken by the General Counsel to support students and alumni of all ages. For many of you, success would not have been possible without the help of supporters, family, or friends. It might have been encouragement, end-of-term welcome for dirty washing, loan of a laptop or a car, or in many cases it was just boring old money. The university is very grateful to the supporters, and we know how much you have done for the students. So I ask the graduates and my colleagues to join with me in applauding the supporters who for various reasons are not here today, but also the student supporters happily present. You've been taught and supervised by brilliant staff, supported by deeply committed colleagues. Please join me in applauding the staff of the university. Finally, I wish each and every graduate success and happiness for the future. and I ask the platform party and the supporters to join me in applauding this magnificent collection of graduates in front of us. On behalf of the Senatus Academicus, I declare this ceremony concluded. Please rise.